There's another universe. Please make some noise.
Hey my little raggities, what is up? How are we doing? How are we feeling? If you are new here, I am Raina Swan, aka your new book bestie, aka Big Raggedy, period. Y'all, I just got off of work. If you wondering why I'm sitting up here looking like I'm doing a stakeout, spying on my best friend, nigga, I just got off of work. And I am so tired. Every day I just say to myself, are you sure? Are you sure this is the life you want? Because I think you should probably quit. Tell me why I walked. Let me get an accurate number. Tell me why I walked 13,719 damn steps. Why? You know my ankles is hurting. You know they hurting. You already know. And I'm just ready to just curl up in bed and get a little reading done. I feel so behind on my book club pick because I just ain't had no damn time to read because I've been clocking in. But Monday I'm off. The day that y'all will see this video, I'll be off. Ooh. So yeah, let's talk about it. While I was on the job, I started Perfect Peace by Daniel Black. If you don't know what that story is about, it is about a young girl whose mother tells her, you were born a boy, I made you a girl. And she is the, I believe, 7th child, the last of the Pieces. Their last name is Peace, so she's the last one. And y'all, that damn mama is insane. She is a nutcase if you've ever met one. She's a nut. Okay, so we already got down to the bottom of why this lady done turned this young boy into a girl, and quite frankly, she needs to be locked up in a mental institution. And you know, I'm really starting to wonder what's going on with Dr. Daniel Black, because something is not right. Where did you come up with this concept? Have something like this happen in your hometown? Like, where'd you get this little idea from? So we done already figured out what, you know, why the mama did what she did. She raggedy as hell, but I'm loving the family drama. Y'all know I live for the family drama. Everybody got a messy family. Everybody got a messy family. There is not one family dynamic that is sane. Everybody crazy. They should have stopped having kids after one of the kids came out blind. That would have been my 13th reason. And I would have been like, you know what? Maybe this whole childbearing thing just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew to stop after 3. Once I got pregnant back to back, and they said, oh, we gonna schedule you another C-section, I said, you know what? Just go ahead, tie the tubes. Tie the tubes. Because ain't no way y'all gonna keep cutting me open. Like, I'm just, the factory gotta close at some point. At some point, it becomes your fault, okay? Now, when I was pushing out kids about 8 years ago, I wanted a little boy. But guess what? God gave me 3 crazy, ungrateful kids, daughters, okay? And after the 3rd one came out, I said, me being a boy mom is just not for me. I said, because I say this all the time, with my luck, who knows how the 4th baby would have came out. The other 3 crazy as hell. So we don't even want to take no chances. Tie this shit up. So the mama was tripping. The mama tripping. Don't like the hometown. Everybody in the city got a smart ass mouth. I feel like if I was in the book, I'd be out there scrapping every single day. Because ain't no way I name my baby perfect and you tell me in the middle of the church service that no one's perfect in God's eyes. Huh? Oh, you trying to fight at the pulpit? Cause why is you talking about my baby like that? Y'all, I just know I'd be fighting every day. I don't think I like anybody in this book. The daddy, he comes from a very low education background. Like he'll tell you every day, all day, I'm done, but I ain't no fool. Like he just know he don't got it all. Like he just know he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. The lights are on, but nobody's home. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the brightest crayon in the box. He just don't. The elevator don't go all the way up is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, everybody can't have their pickings, I guess, you know. So, the daddy, he's a hard worker. He ain't, you know, ain't nothing much to look at. But, yeah, the mama don't like her. She crazy. The kids, you know, they kids, and everybody in the city is crazy. So we gonna go in the house, take a little shower, unwind. Hopefully Marcus cooked something because I'm ready to eat something. Now don't worry about what I ate for lunch. That was earlier. Okay, I need me a little midnight snacky snack. Then I'm gonna get in the bed and I'm gonna read a little bit. So I'm gonna see y'all when I'm in bed.
So things are getting pretty intense at this point. Talia is terrorizing the city, and I'm starting to feel a little bit worried for her. It started off with me rooting for her, but now I just can't. I'm almost hoping that they lock her ass up. And it's baffling to me how they don't even know who's doing what. You mean to tell me that all these people that this lady is connected to and all this money that she has, y'all couldn't rub 2 clues together and figure out who the hell is doing all this shit? I don't know. It just seems like they ain't got their head in the game. I feel like I would have had this case cracked after the second damn murder, because ain't no way. The dots are connecting, but we're not drawing a straight line here. We're going in a circle.
Good morning. It's Sunday. I gotta update y'all, and I got a little book mail. First off, last night I tried to get through 2 chapters of The Birthday Girl, but y'all, my eyes were just like. And then I started reading like this. Now, once I'm in bed and I start doing this, that means I'm about to go to sleep. So, the book is so unhinged. Our main character, Talia, she is getting her revenge. She's taking justice into her own hands. And the police department is not happy about it, okay? Now, we have one detective who kind of has like a rocky history with the police force, and they are not trying to listen to that man at all. And he's trying to tell them, like, look, I know what's going on, but y'all gotta trust me. Y'all gotta let me do my thing. So I don't know how this is gonna end. The lady is so crazy that I don't think she gonna end up in jail. Like, I think she's gonna end up either offing herself or being gunned down in like a standoff. She might even end up in a psych ward. That's how crazy she is. But I'm like, dang, how is this going to end? Because she is a billionaire. She has the money to, fight in court if it even gets to that point. But the way she moving, lock her up. A few chapters ago, I was on her side. I'm like, yeah, they had you effed up on your birthday, girl. Like, get your lick back. But then as the chapters kept going, I was like, okay, maybe she needs to be in the middle of padded walls, like maybe she needs the arm straps, maybe the outside world isn't for her. And you're probably thinking like, oh, why did you just jump straight to the psych ward? How about we try a little therapy to work through it? She has a therapist. She has a therapist. And quite frankly, something is weird about that damn therapist too. Like, it's a comment she made to him, and I'm like, is the therapist helping her do the things that she's doing, or what is going on? So I was telling some people the other day, if you are looking for a crazy thriller, then you should check this out. Now, this book is for fans of Octavia Grant and Lynette King. Them two crazy women, those two beautiful women know how to write a crazy story. Now, this is up there with that. Now, when I say this next part, I'm not being shady. I'm not being shady. The only difference between what's going on in this book versus what would happen in Octavia or Lynette King, is that lady last name? Anywho, the only difference is Meesha's writing style is really good. Like, she's very detailed. She's another one of those writers who can write out some great imagery, and she kind of places you right in the middle of each chapter. She's describing the scenes, but she's doing it very, very well. Sometimes it can be a bit too much. Like, girl, I didn't need to know that her left jaw clenched and, she started wiggling her toes and stuff. Like, girl, like, you can pull back on some of the detail. But she's very detailed, and she really lets the scene play out fully. It doesn't give, let's just get to the point. She paints it out for you, okay? So I definitely would say check this out if you are a fan of Octavia Grant, because y'all know Octavia, she be writing some of the craziest stuff, and this is up there with it. So definitely go ahead, get into the birthday girl, because she is a nut. Let's see. So I am 70% in. I'm on page 200. And I have 2 hours and 47 minutes left in the book. So I don't know if I'm going to finish this today because I do have to work. I'm going to read when I can, though. I'm on chapter 19, and there are 26 chapters in the entire book. So I'm getting there. Your girl is getting close. I really do want to finish this today because I just don't want to take this into the next week. It's just like, okay, at some point we got to wrap this shit up. I do feel like I'm doing a little bit better as far as the little slump I was in last month, because while I am almost finished with this, I am about 40% into Perfect Peace. So, you know, we here with it. We got a little bit to go. So I do have the audio for this, and I will be listening to it at work. Amen. But we are on chapter 15, and Perfect has officially found out that she was born a boy. Like, poor baby. Poor baby. She is feeling all the emotions. The mama had to come out and just tell the truth, because little Perfect was getting older. Some things was happening where people were starting to tell her things, and she was starting to come to her mom with these questions. Before the mom could get exposed, she decided to just say, hey, I'm gonna just come out and I'm gonna just, this is what we gonna do. But I'm like, how did you think this was gonna play out? Like when you did what you did, right? And you looked, and you didn't look into the future and think like, how am I gonna pull this off? Like, you didn't stop to think this. Now, what's so crazy is it's not like she didn't have anybody telling her what you're doing is a bad idea. The bitch just didn't listen. She didn't listen, and she thought that no, this is what it is, and this is what it's gonna be, and ain't nobody gonna tell me differently. And now she done ruined her whole family. I know we're not supposed to put hands on people, right? That's just, we're not supposed to do that. But if anybody deserved to get their ass whooped, it's the mama. You got little Perfect sitting on the couch with now his hands around his knees and his head to his thighs. He is so ashamed and so broken. Now, somebody in one of my last videos said they couldn't finish the story because it was just too much. And I honestly I understand why. I see why. This is crazy. Like, so I really want to know what the church got to say, because you done took this baby to church. You done stood up at church and said, my daughter is Perfect Peace, and go ahead and baptize the baby. So now when you go to church, now the congregation and the people in the city, they already think you ain't shit and you crazy. But now when you go to church and they see you got 7 boys, you don't think they gonna stone you? You don't think they gonna have some questions? What happened to your daughter? Where's your child? Where's the little girl at? That had the long pretty hair with the slanted eyes, with the very beautiful skin. What happened to her? And then I feel like the way that the mom went about letting Perfect know was so selfish and just very cruel. It really wasn't no kind way to do it, but I just feel like she just panicked and just started doing way too much. Just poor baby. And I'm wondering, like, how are we about to do this? But you know why I think that mama did it? And it's just what I'm thinking. I feel like the mom, she made Perfect a little girl because of her own childhood traumas and her own need or desire to relive her childhood. because she has so much going on in her own childhood that she just wanted a redo. It was never about just being a girl mom or any of the crap. She wanted to redo her childhood because there were certain situations where she was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this because I didn't have this when I was a kid. And I'm gonna get her this because I didn't have this when I was a kid. And parents like that are dangerous because that places an unrealistic standard on the child that the child will never be able to live up to. And it creates a lot of pressure and disconnect between the parent and the child, because the child's like, why are they going so hard? Why are they trying to put me in football and make me be the next LeBron? And why, do my mama want me in dance and she got me in ballet and all this crazy hip hop stuff? I don't even like to dance. But it's the parents trying to heal that inner broken child. And that's not the way to go about it, because it's never enough when you don't sit down and you do the work. Now, I feel like as parents, we all have fallen a little bit of victim of, oh, I'm gonna do this because of these things that happened to me. But Perfect Mama was just on a whole different frequency of crazy. Like, for example, I don't have any baby pictures. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they were so high they just didn't get any pictures of me when I was a baby. So when I had my first child, I was just snapping hella pictures. Like, the amount of pictures I have of my first baby versus that third one is crazy. Like, I got pictures of got pictures of all my kids, but that first child, you would have thought I was having her audition for America's Next Top Model, because, baby, why are you taking so many photos? But that was that trauma in me of growing up and, we doing yearbook, it's senior week, and they asking you for your baby pictures so they can post it in the yearbook, and you ain't got no goddamn baby pictures. And then you asking your parents, where the hell is my baby pictures? Oh, I think they was left at your granny house. Grandma been dead for 5 years. Where are my baby pictures? Where the pictures at? I don't have none. So I think when we experience things like that, even though that's not extreme, and not at all, but I feel like when we experience things like that, we try to make up for it. And, at some point, you just gotta let your kids be who God created them to be. Because if you don't, and you try to force them to be who you want them to be, it's not gonna work out. The child gonna end up hurt or resenting you, and you are gonna be so disappointed and taking it out on the child, because the child is not living up to your expectations, your unrealistic expectations. Now, this is Talia and Birthday Girl. She didn't need a therapist. She needed a psych ward. But the mama definitely needed to sit on somebody's damn couch. And now, I don't think they had therapists back in this time. But they needed one. Okay, the whole family needed a therapist now, because, girl, you just ruined your whole family. And you lucky they didn't jump you. You lucky you got a house full of boys and they didn't jump you. Okay? Hello? But yeah, so those are the 2 books that I'm currently reading. I did Soft DNF the Nigga Boys. Now, wait. Before you judge me, hold on. Like, I'm sure the book is amazing. I'm sure the book is amazing. And it's it's not like officially done for. It's just we focusing on some other books before we get back to that one. I just don't think Colson Whitehead's writing style is for me. I feel like he does a lot of telling versus showing. So he has dialogue in his book, but it's not a lot. And so a lot of times you're reading it and it's like, yeah, and Elroy went up the hill and then he saw Susie sitting down on the hill picking the flowers, and then they sat for a little bit and Elroy told her about how he ended up at the nickel camp, and then they rolled down the hill together, giggling and laughing. And then when they got up, it was sunset, and they watched the sunset. And then they went on down to the cafeteria, and they had breakfast. Like, please get me out of here. Please. Now, like I said, there is some dialogue, but there is so much telling of the story that it just kind of gets like pushed to the side as like an afterthought. Like, but it just seems like an uncle retelling, you know, a childhood story or a family story. And that's fine, because I'll be the first person to say an author is long-winded and is way too descriptive. I'll be the first. But I'm starting to realize maybe that's not so bad, because I'm struggling to get through this book. So we're going to put Nigga Boys on pause. Now, there was another Colson book that I had tried to start that I ended up DNFing, and then I just ended up sending it to one of my book friends. I was like, girl, you was not about to read this. Just go ahead and give it away. So, I don't know. Everybody be ranting and raving about the Nigga Boys. Drop down in the comments if you've read the Nigga Boys. Like, a lot of y'all was saying, like, it's so good, it's so good. I'm not saying it's not. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is something ain't right. And it might be me. Something ain't right. And it might be me, because I cannot get into this book whatsoever. And I'm really trying so hard, because, you know, a lot of people were saying, if you like the reformatory, then you are going to love the Nigga Boys. And I'm just trying to figure out where the disconnect is. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not going to finish it. I'm just saying I just don't know what's going on. So, I don't know what's going on. So, anywho, I do have book mail, and it is a little different from, you know, what I typically read. It ain't nothing crazy like romantasy or nothing like that. But the other day, Marcus ordered me Fateful by Kim Cash Tate, which is a Christian romance novel. And the storyline focuses on this friend group. They all experience their own little bit of life circumstances that, you know, just aren't going their way. And so we're going to get into this synopsis. So if you are somebody who likes Christian fiction, then this might be a book for you. So it says, celebrate the power of female friendship and the never-ceasing faithfulness of God. Cindy Sanders thought she knew God's plan for her life. She'd marry, have kids, and then snap her body back into shape with exercise. But she's celebrating her 40th birthday as the maid of honor at her little sister's wedding and still single. Now her life is suddenly complicated by the best man. He's the opposite of what she wants in a husband, and yet he keeps defying her expectations.
Starting with the lavender rose, symbolizing enchantment, each rose he sends her reflects his growing love for her. Cindy's best friend, Dana, appears to have the perfect marriage until she discovers her husband's affair and her world goes into a tailspin. Then there is Phyllis, who is out of hope and out of prayers after asking God for 6 long years to help her husband find faith. When she runs into an old friend who is the Christian man she longs for, she's faced with an overwhelming choice. Lifelong friends with life-altering struggles, will they trust God's faithfulness and find strength to be faithful to Him? So, this book had very good reviews on Amazon, but that doesn't necessarily mean this might be a book for you or me, because like I said, I don't read a lot of Christian fiction. So for the people who do read a lot of Christian romance, this might be something that is right up their alley. So I'm willing to test it out. I'm willing to see what's going on. And I'm interested in seeing how Phyllis's story plays out. The friend who was praying for her husband and so he could find faith, and she runs into an old friend. I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. Now, this is giving a very why did I get married vibe. Phyllis is giving me Sheila. Sheila, went up the hill to save her marriage, and then, Sheila found out that her man wasn't ish. If you ain't seen Why Did I Get Married, where have you been? Great movie. One of my favorite Tyler Perry movies. But Sheila finds out her man ain't shit, and, she found a replacement, okay? Now, that is what this book is giving. And Dana kind of resembles what Sheila was going through too. It's almost like Kim took Sheila's character and just split it in half and gave some of the characteristics to one friend and some to the other. But child, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Now, as far as, praying that your husband find faith, girl, you knew he was a heathen when you met him. You got what you got. Now, is he treating you bad? Is he bopping you upside the head? Like, you can't get with nobody who is not living a certain way and then expect them to just change. Like, that's not how it works, okay? It's not how it works. So, yeah, I don't know. Girl, you tripping. And I wonder if she's gonna leave her man for this new Christian man. I'm feeling like she might try to make something work with this Christian man, but he's not gonna be what she thought he was. That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping this is a little messy. I don't want it to be too clean. I'm low-key really not interested in Sydney's story with her having a thing for the bridesman and him giving her flowers. I want to get down to the drama. I want to get down to the mess, okay? What is going on? Give me a good Christian messy time. Let everybody be whooping everybody, and then at the end, they just pray together. Like, give me something like that. Like, something real crazy. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you're currently reading. Also, leave me a swan or a heart in the chat. And also, if you are looking for a good reading lounge or a good book club, you can click the description box and find the links for the club in the reading lounge. And if you are looking for a little quick thriller, go ahead and download my newest short thriller called You Never Know. And yeah, have a ball with that one. And thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.